Hello, Leo, and welcome to Mystic High Priestess Tarot. Just taking a moment here to make sure to cleanse the space. I just got done doing Cancer's reading. This is going to be a couple's reading for Leo. For Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Crosswatchers, you are also welcome to join us. And just so you are aware, it may not resonate for everybody. Keep in mind, take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. If nothing resonates with you, there are some other really wonderful tarot readers on YouTube that eventually I will make some recommendations on. I have now just cleansed the space, finished cleansing it anyway. I have reshuffled the cards and meditated on those as well. One thing about me, since my channel is new, is I am an intuitive mystic, which means that sometimes the message on the cards may not exactly match what you may think they actually mean. I'm going to go completely by my guides. I am also guided and protected by Archangel Michael, and at times he will come in and deliver some very special messages, and those are a privilege and a treat. I'm also an active medium, which means that at times other spirit will try to intervene to get their personal messages through. If you hear me ring a bell, that just means that I am cleansing them from the space so I can move on with the collective reading. That means there's interference and they're trying to get through to a Leo. Unfortunately, that is saved for personal messages, or sometimes maybe I will do just some channel direct messages that way, but I'm not doing those right now. I am doing couples, singles, and career and finance spreads, weekly and monthly. The weekly is a 9-card spread, and the monthly is a Celtic card spread. So what we will be doing here is a weekly 9 cards past, or 3 cards past, 3 cards present, and 3 cards future, and with overall energy. And then I do use the Rider-Waite to clarify everything. Keep in mind that this is for the week of 11/15 to 11/21 of 2021. However, if you come across this at a later date and time, it just means that you're on a different timeline than everybody else. Not everybody else, everybody's on their own timeline, and it means that you came across it when you were meant to see it. So enjoy it regardless. Now, I do also want to state that there are scammers out there. I will never approach you in regards to a personal reading or a donation. If you do want a personal reading or you want to donate to my channel, then please check the description box or the About section of my channel, and that will have the details will be listed there. One last thing is a disclaimer. Never use a tarot reading for any type of medical, legal, financial, or mental health. Please seek your professionals for final guidance on any of that. This can give you an advice and some guidance, but it is not for legal purposes. So let's get on with this. Leo couples. Let's see what we've got going on for you. All right, a Messenger of Fire, the Hermit, and Queen of Air. People right off the bat, present, 8 of Air, Justice, and the Chariot. Future, we have the Worlds, Messenger of Water, and the 7 of Earth. Very interesting. And your overall energy is the Ace of Air. That is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. Okay. So starting out strong here with the Messenger of Fire, the Hermit, and the Queen of Air. So this is basically your Queen of Swords and your Knight of Wands. Then, of course, you have a 9, which is a very symbolic, beautiful number, the Hermit, of going within, God providing you the light, in other words, to get your message across. So at some point, there was something delivered that was very spicy and hot, and for some odd reason, it got, the passion was replaced with logic. Because as you can see, you've gone from a knight to a queen in two different elements, and what's in between is a lot of inner, searching. So we're going to definitely clarify it to kind of find out what happened there. Currently, you have the Eight of Air, Justice, and the Chariot. The Chariot being a 7, another very symbolic number from the divine. Now, this kind of tells me that you're trapped, or you feel almost like you can't breathe. You want to move into a new direction. You haven't quite saddled up the horses yet, so to speak, but you're ready to go. Unfortunately, there's just something holding you back that feels unjust. And again, justice is a card 11, which is another relationship number. Then finally, you have the World, Messenger of Water, and 7 of Earth. So it looks like in the near future, you do have the World, which is a number 21. Again, 3 7s, so very symbolic. It also represents the ending of something very cumulative, very large. So it does kind of look like either the ending of discontent in a relationship, because we have this apology here, and with that, we see wanting something to grow, okay? It's like planting seeds in the earth and letting it grow. So it's like putting an end to some discontent or some argument or something that you're not agreeing on, and really wanting to develop into something else. Overall energy, you have the Ace of Air, which basically is like the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is truth and logic and everything starting anew. You see you have a beautiful unicorn there. And so this is kind of the unicorn you've been hoping for. So let's take the Rider-Waite here and see what we can come up with for some clarifiers. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, please use these cards to bring us guidance and clarity on the base cards that you've already given, so that Leo can move forward in the best possible light and in your divine light. I've even finished clarifying. They have started talking, and of course, King of Swords, that figures in the Empress. So this is beautiful, with our overall energy being a new start here in the Ace of Wands. Having the King of Swords, the King is the one who has everything figured out. He's been through everything. He's the wise one you're going to go to for counsel, but he's not going to make decisions of the heart. He's going to make decisions of the head. So he was the type of king back in the old times. If his brother was brought to court and did something wrong, it didn't matter that it was his brother. He was going to do what was right logically, not based on his heart or his feelings. And then you have the Empress, which means there's a lot of growth and fertility potential in this. So it looks like there's a lot of mind space that is being devoted to your relationship, but the potential of it actually growing from where it's at is definitely there. So that's a very, very beautiful thing. The other thing is, you could have an Empress mixed with a King of Swords, which is a beautiful, beautiful combination. Though the Empress normally belongs with the Emperor, even if the other mate is at the King of Swords status, there is such great potential in that relationship for that person to become an Emperor. Now, Messenger of Fire, which is our Knight of Wands. We're looking at 6 of Pentacles and the Tower. So yeah, so this message, this passionate message that came through at one point in time was more of a tower moment, something that kind of tore it apart. In other words, one person or both of you at that point were feeling somewhere in the past that wasn't equal give and take in the relationship. One person was giving more to one thing, another person, taking more, and it just felt like a burden to one of the two of you. Now, keep in mind, this could be for married couples, people dating, living together, anybody who's actually in an actual relationship or close to a relationship. I love it when, messages couldn't be more direct. Sometimes when I get clarifiers, they're basically stating, hey, we gave you the answer already. So the Hermit is verified by the Hermit. And Four of Cups, that makes a lot of sense. So the Hermit, you're definitely looking deeper at the relationship. So do you want to go through that door? Do you want to see the light on the other side? Do you want to continue growth? So you're using your wisdom and your inner knowledge to figure that out. The other part is that you have this Four of Cups. So you fondly remember other love. Okay. Now the divine is giving you something new, which could be the current relationship that you're in, but you're not happy with it. You're discontent. So that's why you're going within, kind of almost introspective to see if this is really what you want in life. So it seems like you don't want to walk away from it, but you kind of don't want it either. We're going to go deeper, but that's, the past, which is leading into your present day. Then we have the Queen of Air, which, as I explained before, is like a Queen of Swords. And remember, we had the King of Swords in the overall energy. So it's a bit of a match here as far as, what is this Queen of Swords energy that maybe has grown into a King of Swords. So we have the Nine of Wands, and then we have the Six of Wands. And in this, so basically the Queen of Swords, which was logic over heart in the past that led to your current situation, was because there were heavy burdens. And one of the two of you, was being victorious while the other one felt like they were lacking. Notice you already have 2 sixes. So there was one person was getting all of the acknowledgement while the other person was kind of carrying the load of the relationship. And that really became burdensome to somebody. And therefore they became the Queen of Swords, not living from their heart space, but living from a harsh tongue and, mental space. So the Eight of Air, this was more of a trapped feeling. You have the Four of Swords and the Star. So taking a time out, waiting for a wish come true. So, somebody that one of the two of you in the relationship feels a little like they can't breathe. And with that, they have to lay down and they have to say, I can't feel broken in this time. I need to, let go of the brokenness and rebuild myself. And that could be where the Hermit portion comes from. And, they're wishing. Now, just because they're wishing does not mean that they're wishing to be out of the relationship. They could very well be wishing for the relationship to repair and heal. Those are the types of things that we would go in deeper in extended readings, which I'm not doing right now. But they're definitely needing a time out. Let's see what this Justice is. 7 of Pentacles and Knight of Swords. So here we are, more swords. So there's an awful lot of air energy in here. So somebody wants justice. Somebody wants something to be fair. Somebody wants something to be equally balanced is what it is. They just feel like they're either giving too much and the other person's taking too much. And they're kind of waiting for something to develop and grow out of it. but nothing's coming through except more harsh actions, more harsh words. And, so somebody's being very defiant, saying no, for example, if you're having an argument where you're saying, I'm giving, and, you're not giving back, and that person is going to rebuttal with, I do too, kind of thing, but they're not going to see it from that perspective. And, so you have one person, they're just waiting, on it, going, I just don't think anything is going to change. It's always going to be this way. And that could be the same person that is like wish upon a star, for example. The Chariot, which is a Cancer, potentially. Yeah. Moving in a new direction. So, moving on. The only reason that they're not necessarily moving forward is because of the stability of, the foundation, that they feel safe and stable where they're at. However, they also feel like just taking their stuff and heading out. They want to run. They feel trapped in a way because of that stability. If they weren't in this relationship, they wouldn't have that stability, or maybe nobody else would want them. All of these mental doubts they have about starting a new life on their own. So one of the two of you is very discontent with where you're at. It looks like the other person is not budging either. I would highly recommend, if this is your current status, to have some heart-to-heart conversations, to really sit down and try to understand each other, because it's doomed for a breakup if it continues that way. And the World, which is usually an ending, generally in your future here, is going to tell you that. And sure enough, so for the World, we have the Ace of Cups and the High Priestess. So the World being an ending, hoping for a fresh start. It's as if somebody's went through that hermit stage and found their inner intuition, and they know what they want, and they know how to get it, and what they want is a fresh new start at love. This could go one of two ways. Again, with that Chariot, if they choose to move on, they're moving on to new love. Their intuition could be telling them, let's end what we have right now and let's start over. Let's create new love out of this. Let's go through a new cycle, and not, the cycle that we're in right now. And this person is intuitive enough to know that the way things are going is not going to work. That has to end. Either it has to start with a fresh new blossoming of love, which the divine is giving you that opportunity. It does not look like you have to part from each other to actually start something fresh. That could include if somebody cheated. I'm not seeing any type of third-party situation, just that it would seem like there's not enough equal give and take in the relationship, and there's not enough good communication here as well. There's a lot of communication, but it's verbally pulling the relationship apart. So it would seem like the communication is a lot of blaming, a lot of finger pointing, a lot of aggravation, and that needs to be subdued. The messenger of water is the I'm sorry, which we now have a Knight of Cups and a King of Cups. This is beautiful. So in your future, it does look like you're going to end the current cycle of disdain and unpleasantness that you're having, because you do have this, see this beautiful little seahorse, saying, I'm sorry, to this girl, the girl saying, I'm sorry to the seahorse. That's really what it is a sharing of a new love. And with the Knight of Cups, that is a new love offer. That is saying, okay, yep, I'm sorry, let's start again. And then turning into the King of Cups, where those words of anger and just cutthroat, being mean, which I'm sure no one means to be mean, but sometimes when you're aggravated, the way it comes across, it does come across rather harsh. That is now turning into a love offer from somebody who is putting their emotions in it versus just their head. And they might be using their head to follow their emotions. They're putting their heart back in the relationship versus everything being black and white on paper or about money or anything like that. And then we have the Seven of Earth here, which we did have in the center for the Justice, where that's what this person was looking for, was, you know, one person's being really harsh, the other person's looking for something to grow, and here's that growth coming in the future. So it looks like one of you finally got through to the other, and like we saw with the apology. So we have the Six of Swords, which is beautiful, and the Lovers. Oh, you guys couldn't have a nicer outcome here. Now I can see why we have an Empress and a King of Swords. So waiting for this growth, you know, looking and hoping for something to develop. The Six of Swords is basically stating, we're going to move to calmer waters. We're not going to be so harsh with each other. We're going to reunite. We're going to kind of hermit off on our own. We're going to start having good conversations, and we're going to, you know, clear all these bumps and rocks out. It's kind of like a farmer with a rocky field. They have to take the rocks out to plant their crops in order to have a good crop. So it's kind of like that, like you're working together to take those rocks out of the field so next spring your crop is good and healthy. And being the Lovers, you definitely could be matched with either the two signs that I really felt were Cancer and Gemini. So Leo, you could be matched up with one of those. If you are, this was definitely more meant for you. But this is going to take you back to that Lover's point where, you know, it's more divinely led, and that's going to take some growth and it's going to take some time, but it does look like you're going to get there. And, you know, I do want to go back to this overall energy because it's so important based on your advice and your ending here is this Ace of Air, this brand new way to communicate. Okay. And that is, I think, you know, going to be the issue. When you communicate that way, you're going to get an Empress, somebody who's fertile and loving and giving and nurturing, and it is going to be able to create. And then you have a King of Swords, somebody who has mastered their emotions and mastered their tongue, and their words are no longer as harsh as they once were. Now, this doesn't mean this is the man and this is the woman in the relationship. It could be vice versa. We all have feminine and masculine energy in us, so the Empress could easily be the man, while, you know, the King of Swords could be the female who had the harsh tongue. And in this as well, because of all of the sixes, including the 6 here down in the end, and notice the Lovers is the 6 as well, this tells me that there is going to be a balance of equal give and take as you continue forward. So, you know, keep working on this. You guys are moving in the right direction. Don't give up, even though it does look like there's a couple times here you had a really rocky past. It's settling down a little, but it's not quite there. But if you keep trying to fix this communication issue, you could have a super beautiful relationship because it does look like a nice, comfortable relationship. It's got a great foundation. It's just that one person really kind of just wants to run away from it. They're so fed up. So if you don't work on it soon and get that communication flowing better, less harsh words, more listening to each other, you know, you definitely could lose this relationship, and it could be a very bitter, horrible ending, but it doesn't have to be. It looks like, you know, you're being led in a direction of something very beautiful. And your guidance card is Solitude, which is, you know, our hermit that we had before. In silence, peace prevails. So it does look like that solitude paid off. And, you know, maybe even though with the pandemic, of course, you know, you've probably been in solitude long enough and you're sick of it, but maybe the two of you need a little more solitude to learn how to communicate and express to each other what you really mean to each other, and listen to each other about the give and take. And listening is key. A lot of times when we think we're listening, we're actually in our minds talking to ourselves and prepping our rebuttal, right? We know, we're like, oh, no, I know exactly how I'm going to refute this. This person is completely wrong. Instead of literally listening to every word that they're saying, maybe their perspective is a little off or something like that. But if we don't listen and we're too busy creating our defense argument in our mind, we're missing the true message. Romance angels say, let your friends help you, and it is safe for you to love. Yes, this is beautiful. So in some cases, you do need, your friends to help guide you. Maybe you have friends that are in healthy relationships that can help you learn how to communicate a little bit better. It says ask for and accept support from others. And that support could just be guidance, information. How do they make their marriages work? How do they have conversations? Stuff like that. The other one is it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And as we saw, there was a give and receive message that came up a couple times in this, that there wasn't enough equal give and receiving. So definitely something that you will want to look into further. Make sure, the energy that you're expending or that is coming towards you in the relationship, you're expending the same type of energy, maybe in a different way. Pay attention to your partner. What are the tiny little things that bring a smile to their face? They may not even say thank you, but you just know, you took the time to notice that made them smile. You do that a little more often, because that is clearly something that they like. And Archangel Michael, who has two messages for us here today. The first one he says is focus upon divine and perfect health. God and Archangel Michael, thank you for continuously reminding me to focus upon perfect health and for guiding my actions so that they support my well-being. That's absolutely beautiful. Yes, it's really about the well-being. Now, the perfect health doesn't always mean, what shape is your body, anything like that. It can be mental health. And stuff like this can definitely wreak havoc on your mental health, and it can feel like mental abuse. So that's something to take into consideration. The other one is detach from the situation. Archangel Michael, I ask you to use your flaming sword to cut any attachment to fear or drama so that I may be centered in the knowing that peace is everywhere within me and this situation. So yeah, anything in the situation that's causing drama, excess drama, you want to get rid of that. And I'm so sorry, I can't get this. There we go. You want to cut that away. You definitely don't need any of the excess things that are considered baggage, that to hold on to any of that. Otherwise, it's just going to drown your relationship. So help, detach from any of that. That's basically all I have. I'm not doing extended readings right now. Hopefully some of this, if not all of it, resonated with you. If it did, please leave a comment below and let me know. I would love to interact with you on that. Again, if you would like, please like, share, and subscribe to help grow my channel. Thank you.